When should you follow your mind or your heart? This is something that's very tricky, and the answer pretty much varies depending on what you are actually doing or what you're actually in currently, relationship wise, and all that other stuff. It really isn't a black and white answer, it's something that varies. First of all, I posted a video earlier today where I was wearing a different shirt. I changed my shirt because my hair was down and it's still wet, so it's kind of dripping all over the place. So I changed my shirt because it was wet and it didn't really feel too comfortable. So yeah, just in case you were wondering if I changed my shirt, why I changed my shirt. Um, anyway, as I was saying, depending on the situation that you are in, it really changes whether you should be following your mind or your heart. If say if you're in a job or something, or you're trying to figure out what to do, job wise or careers or dreams and things like that, that's something that most of the time requires both. Uh, say you have a really big passion for drama and you want to be on Broadway, you want to be an actor or an actress or something like that. That's something that requires both, because your heart is what gives you that passion and that drive. It'll make you keep going even when things get hard, or you see other people that are better than you and you get really intimidated. The heart, like your heart, is going to be that thing that's going to give you that push that you need to actually achieve anything or to keep pushing through hard times. But you need your mind to keep your wits about you in these things. Like I said about if you want to be on Broadway and all this or on TV, you need to keep your wits about you because you need to look at the reality of the situation too. Because not your heart is telling you that you were going to be an actor and all this other stuff, and you really have this passion, but your mind needs to be able to look at the reality of things and see that there are the reality of the film industry. Like your mind will show you that they want different people constantly. Like one day, girls with brown hair and freckles and really short girls are popular in the TV industry. Like everybody wants them, and then all of a sudden they switch to a blonde-haired girl that's really pale or something like that. Your mind is going to help you realize the reality of that dream, passion, or career that you want to be in. Like, say, if you want to open a business of some kind, your heart is still going to give you that drive. Your heart needs to be there to keep that passion and love in whatever you're doing, otherwise, you're not going to be happy. But your mind also has to be there to keep the reality in there. The reality of it is that you're gonna have to invest so much money. You're gonna have to promote. You're gonna have to do all these other things. That's what your mind is gonna be there for. So, for certain things, you need both your mind and your heart, and you need to follow them both, which is gonna be pretty hard sometimes because sometimes they conflict. Like, you spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and you're practically broke because you invested so much money in this business. Your heart is still going to want to keep going. They're going to be like, oh, there's always a chance because you never know what's going to happen. This might be that chance. All I have to do is add that extra little tiny bit of money that you have left. But you sometimes your mind's gonna just tell you, no, you can't do that because you're gonna end up broke, you're gonna be in debt, and all this other stuff. So your mind and your heart are gonna conflict and butt heads several times. So it's gonna be hard for you to make that final decision if things are a bust, because your mind is going to give you the true reality of it, where you have to actually stop, even though your heart is going to want to keep pushing. So it really depends on what situation that you're in, whether you should follow your heart or your mind. In relationships, they also require both, depending on what the relationship you are in is. When you're in a relationship, your heart is going to be in love with this person and all this other stuff. That's what's going to keep you in a relationship. You really, no matter what, you need your heart in that relationship. The heart has to be in it, otherwise it's not going to be successful. You can't just be in a relationship and not love the person. You can't not have an emotional attachment. But when you're in a relationship, sometimes you don't need the mind at all. You just go with it and it works out perfectly fine. But say if this person hurt you or cheated on you, you have some suspicions, or little tiny things are starting to go wrong, that's when you should switch your mind on and pay close attention to these things, but don't overly pay attention, but don't ignore them either. That's the most tricky thing when it comes to following your heart and mind, is in relationships, because it really depends on what situation you're in. Sometimes all you have to do is follow your heart. Sometimes you should follow your mind and your heart. And depending on what is going on in that relationship, you should follow your mind more than your heart, or vice versa. Because if, say, this person's cheating on you, you have suspicions and stuff like that, but you only listen to your heart and you ignore what your mind is telling you, saying, whoa, this person's cheating on you, they're hurting you, you should leave, or you should confront them about it, and all this other stuff, your heart's gonna just keep pushing with this person if you keep ignoring what's going on. And you'll find out later on in the future, if you are lucky enough to find out and they don't keep doing it and you don't even realize it. But if you just follow your heart in that situation, you're going to end up getting hurt. It's going to kill. That's bad, because you don't want to have your expectations or thoughts and beliefs about someone up to here. Yeah, it's so high you can't even see it in the screen. When the reality of it could be down here. You don't want to have your heart blinding you with this fantasy when the reality of it is that you're completely and totally wrong. So when it comes to relationships, it's really definitely has a lot of gray areas in it. So if you are in a relationship and you don't know whether to follow your mind or your heart, send me a message or comment me with your specific issue, and I will tell you what you should do and what you should follow, because everyone has a different situation, and it applies differently to everyone, because not everyone, this won't work out for everyone if you just watch this video and your situation is completely different from anything that I'm talking about. So it would be better if you tell me about your specific problem, and I will give you a specific answer to help answer that specific problem that you have, because every single problem has a different solution. Some are the same, but not always, and most of the time they're not. So I would recommend sending me a message or commenting me with any of your specific problems. I will either respond in a video or a comment. So hopefully this helped you guys, and keep your wits about you, but also follow your heart.